All right, man. So I keep getting asked. By the way, truck driver Sean here in my truck, Troy, Illinois, and I'm not using an amp. I'm using a Magnum 44 or 44 Magnum, whatever you call it, by Electro-Harmonix, and this is what it sounds like all by itself. So the Revv G4, everything at noontime. The Friedman BEOD, everything at 50%. The Djenttonic with everything at 50%. So as you can tell, all three have a very different sound in the middle of the spectrum. So let's do a little dialing in. We're going to start with the Revv G3. Turn that on. Scoop the mids a little bit, add a little bass, add a little treble. And let's add some gain. Now we have three different aggression switches. This is the blue aggression. And the red aggression. So we're going to add a little more treble. Back up to the blue. This with the gain dimed right on out. That's all she's got. That's on the red aggression, which is the highest gain. That's the blue. Alright, so that's about the best we're going to get the Revv sounding. So let's dial in the Friedman BEOD. That's with still pretty much 50% of your gain left. Sounds pretty good. And the Djenttonic, let's dial this sucker in. mess with the gain again. Basically on 60%. So, pretty much, to even the playing field, because they all kind of sound the same, we're going to take the gain on the Revv, and we're going to put that at 60%. And then, well, actually, the gain is a little over 60% on the Djenttonic, so we'll add just a little more gain on the Freedman, the Friedman, and we'll even that gain up on the Revv. Alright, so again, the clean. The Revv. The BEOD. And the Djenttonic. Alright, so there you go. That's the difference between those three particular pedals that are pretty, well, two of them are very popular. One of them a lot of people have never heard of. So, the Djenttonic by Black Cat Amps. It slays for the metal. It just kills it. I'm sorry, it just does. The Friedman BEOD, there's a reason why it's a staple. And then the Revv G4, I think when you put it in this context, it's a great pedal. But I think it works better when you have a really crappy gain stage on an amp, and you put it through the effects loop, and it replaces that gain stage. For some reason with amplifiers, like tube amplifiers, it behaves a lot differently than what it's doing with this 44 Magnum by Electro-Harmonix. It's a little sad. I really thought that was the one that was going to tank everything down, because I really do love that pedal. But I got to say, probably the Djenttonic is my favorite. Poor thing is, it's going to be with me for a long time. It's probably going to always be with me on the road. It's just such a damn good pedal. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's just kick ass. Alright, man. Catch y'all later. Test doesn't lie. See ya.